Welcome everybody, Shiur number 639. We're learning today Lila Nishmas Moshe Dov ben Rabban Ziz, Lila Nishmas Blima Bas Rav Moshe, and that Yosef ben Sima Shetaka Haver Refuah Shalem B'Soich Shachol Yisrael. Getting back to our malacha of TOFAIR sewing. So we established in the last couple of shiurim in reference to taping, gluing, pasting, and so on, papers together. We spoke about skins also, but we're trying to stick to papers, which is more negay to us. We said there is such a concept that would be running into a problem of TOFAIR sewing, because again, you're taking two items and making it into one. Hamadabik niyaris. That's what we saw in the Mechabed and Shulchan Aruch. Okay, then we said that there is such there are two sheetas in reference to, we saw in Siman Shin Yud Zayin, the two sheetas in reference to the fact that kayama permanence we know applies to knots. Does it also apply to sewing? We said there are two sheetas. There are those who say no, and there are those who say that it does apply to sewing, and there are those who say it doesn't apply to sewing. Okay, so now the question is, and we taka saw in the Shulchan Aruch Harav that's taka the ones who taka say that it does apply to sewing also. In other words, the question is was this sewing done with a permanence or not? So we saw in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, he said that that's v'chein ikr. This is the the way that we're going to go. Now, getting back to our case, we also mentioned last time that again, not something that we have today, but years ago they used to have this this type of a shirt that where they used to where the launderer used to give it back to the customer, and it was by the base at savar, by the neck area, it was either sewn together or tied together, and the question is, would one be allowed to open that? We also saw the case that the Ramah brought down in reference to shoes. We said that zug shel manalim, a pair of shoes. The shoemaker also used to have such a way that they used to tie it together or sew it together. The question was, would but one on Shabbos be allowed to take it apart? Now, as far as the concept of coming from a store, which is what we want to stress a little bit, not so much the concept of the shoes or the shirt itself, because these things don't apply too much today. In general, you go to a shoemaker, you're getting it back, your shoes are separated. In general, the shirt is okay. The shirt is, you could just open it up. There's usually a little plastic, like I've mentioned many times. I've been involved in dry cleaning many years. There's usually a little plastic up on top, which you just take off, you throw out. It's not connected, it's nothing. It's just holding the collar in place. But there's nothing really in general, usually is not sewn. There's no sewing. There's nothing tied in our days. But Lamaisa brings down the Mishnah Berurah, a very important machlokes, which we're going to be using in TOFAIR sewing when it comes to the gluing part and the taping part, and stickers and the like. For example, I just want to give an example before I explain the machlokes. It's very famous machlokes between the levush and the taz. For example, somebody comes home with a pair of socks during the week, and they want to wear the socks on Shabbos. So what one should do, and now there's a sticker, usually a pair of socks, for example, a man's socks in general that I know, they have a sticker that are connecting the two socks together with an advertisement on it or whatever the size. So what should one do before Shabbos? Erev Shabbos, one should take off the sticker and throw it out and separate the socks and get them ready. As we've been talking about constantly, we talk about every other shiur. It should be part of the list to open up the clothing that one needs before Shabbos, part of the list that they make for Shabbos. Okay, be it as it may, somebody forgot. Now the question is, they want to wear the socks on Shabbos and they want to take off the stickers that were put onto the socks, so that they could wear the socks. So this will be a case of, one second, maybe it's possibly TOFAIR sewing, because don't forget, the manufacturer put on the sticker, and now it's staying on the sock. But if we're going to say, this is, again, it's just a hechatim, it's just a case that we're talking about, an example. If we're going to say the stickers on this sock that are holding the two socks, or on one of the socks that are holding the socks together, for example, from the manufacturer, let's say, so if we're going to say, go with the fact that we said, like the Shulchan Aruch Harav, that there is such a thing as kayama, as permanence, when it comes to sewing, and we're going to say that the sticker is a question of sewing, right? Because we said the sticker on an item goes into the question of TOFAIR sewing, whereby if it's with a permanence, it's going to be taka a problem. And so to put it on, and then of course to take it off, which would be also a problem of, at least that there are rabbanan, one will be taking it off, would go into the isser of koshair. We said putting on the sticker would be a problem possibly, or the sticking two papers together possibly of TOFAIR sewing, and taking it off would be possibly a problem of koshair. So now we're talking about the little bit part, first I want to get to the part of the koshair, Korea part, even though we're really talking about TOFAIR right now. So the question is, would I be allowed to take off the sticker? So good. So the Mishnah Berurah brings very, very famous machlokes again in Sifkat and Chaf Aleph, Siman Shin Yud Zayin, Sifkat and Chaf Aleph, in reference to this shirt that they used to bring home from the cleaner, or in reference to the pair of shoes that you bring home from the cleaner. So the knot that was made or the sewing that was made, the question will now be, is it kayama, is it permanence, made with a permanence, or is it not? Because if it's not made with a permanence, then we can rely on those who say, yeah, you could go ahead and take it apart and wear your shoes and wear your shirt. So he brings in Sifkat and Chaf Aleph, what does it mean, she'enoi koshair shel kayama, in reference to this whole store issue, sort of, if you want to call it like that? He says like this, does the Mishnah Berurah, again in Sifkat and Chaf Aleph, she'enoi also lehiskayim rak ad she'ikachenu, that someone is saying, and who's that some? This is the Lavush talking, that she'enoi also, that she'enoi shel kayama, what's considered not permanent, she'enoi also lehiskayim, it's not made to stay. In other words, a person sewed it together, they stuck it together, or whatever it is, the store owner, the manufacturer, she'enoi also lehiskayim, it's not made to stay. Rak until the owner, the one who purchased this item, or the owner of the shirt, or the owner of the shoes, until they take it home and they take it apart because they want to wear it. In other words, what the Lavush is saying over here, so brings the Mishnah Berurah, that when we say no permanence, einoi kayama, and thereby we would be allowed to open it in a case where we're taking something out from the store, let's say a dry cleaner or so, or the case of the socks, where somebody bought a pair of socks with a sticker on it and so on. What is einoi makayim? What is no permanence? No permanence is, tells us the Lavush, brought down by the Mishnah Berurah, that the manufacturer put on that sticker, or they tied together the shoes, but let's try and stick to our case, make it easier. They put on that sticker only until the person gets home, takes off the sticker, wears the socks. That is the only reason why they put that sticker on, till they could get home. Socks will hold together, advertisement, but the manufacturer had in mind that the person should take off the sticker when they get home, because obviously the manufacturer wants them to wear it as soon as possible, wear out the pair of socks, and come back and buy another pair of socks. So the manufacturer wants them to take off the sticker as soon as possible, because if it's going to sit around in the store with the sticker, they're not going to make any money. So that is called, that with having that in mind, tells us the Lavush, that is called einoi kayama. That is called not permanent. Okay, so comes along the Taz. The Taz says like this. He brings down, again, the Mishnah Berurah brings down the Taz. Also, that no, permanence has to do with nothing to do with what the store owner had in mind. Permanence has to do with v'yesh machmirim badava, says the Mishnah Berurah, quoting the Taz, ela im kain osu lahater ba'oisayim shel hakabisa. Only when the person tied it together, the store owner tied it together or stuck it together with the intention that they should open it up that day within 24 hours, like we learned last time. It's a question of 24 hours or not 24 hours. If it's supposed to be opened within 24 hours, fine. So then it's considered einoi kayama. Then it's considered not permanent. If it's supposed to be open more than 24 hours, then it's considered permanent. That's all. So again, just to sum up today's shiur, we have a machlokes in reference to all these items coming from the store and so on. The general klal, the Lavush brings down the Mishnah Berurah. The Lavush tells us that einoi kayama, which we're going to try and work with the einoi kayama, within is no permanence, and thereby I could take off the sticker from my socks, for example, or something else, which we'll be talking about, some food items or other items. We'll see how, as we go down the line and bring the practical applications. Again, the Lavush holds that this einoi kayama is no, the store owner put on the sticker, or they exclude something together just till the person comes home and opens it up and uses it. That's all. That's called einoi kayama. That's called no permanence. Whereby the Taz said no. The Taz says no. It's a question of if you open it up within 24 hours or not. You have in mind it won't be opened within 24 hours, which is usually the case when somebody something is on the store shelf, or the case of the shirt or the case of the shoes. Usually it's not going to be open within 24 hours. So then it will be einoi kayama, because that's what the person had in mind. Okay, so we're going to stop here. We'll try and get more into it and see how the practical applications, how we could use it in conjunction with this machlokes from the Lavush and the Taz in the upcoming shiur. In other words, could we rely on the fact and say, like the Lavush, that the stickers that are put onto socks or anything else that a person buys would put without a permanence, and thereby one will be allowed to take it off. Why? Because they put it on only specifically till the person gets home, like the Mishnah Berurah said, "She'enoi also lizkaim." It's not made for permanence. Rak shad shikachenu abalabayis lebeis. It's just till the person gets home and uses the item. So that's considered not permanence. Okay, we'll go weiter in the next year. Thank you for listening. Aslach and bracha kol tov.